title deciders, last-minute equalisers, last-minute winners, and a Jurgen Klopp pulled hamstring.
Right, Tate.
Afternoon, Jack, you all right?
Yeah, mate, all good. All good.
Oh, nice weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice bank holiday weekend?
Yeah, we had a nice Saturday, didn't we?
Yeah, celebrating Ipswich's promotion back to Championship.
Yeah, bloody hell. I didn't mind Ipswich until Saturday night, but JJ and co, the closet Ipswich fans that came out of the woodwork. Oh.
No, congratulations to them and McKenna getting them his first promotion up to the Championship. First time for 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely smashed. I mean, the whole league, they've done well, but yeah, Saturday, what, 6-0 was it?
6-0, yeah. I was very confident they'd go up, and 5-0 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, ridiculous. But yeah, they're up, back in Championship.
And they could be facing one of the 2 clubs that played tonight, Leicester and Everton. That's a massive game later on this evening. Speaking of Leicester, Leicester were last relegated from the Premier League in 2003-2004. Can you name 3 players in that squad?
Oh, God. Oh, I'll give it a go.
I've got the whole squad here. So
2003, blood.
Yeah, no, it's hard, but there'll be. I'll give if you're struggling, I'll give you a clue. Interestingly enough, the bottom 3 that year were Wolves bottom, Leeds, Leicester. There were 3 that went down, and the teams were above them in 17th and 16th were Everton and Man City.
Really?
Yeah. And Arsenal finished top.
Well, I'll have a think. Yeah, good question.
Speaking of Man City in 16th and Arsenal top, we're going to start this. We got the pod's basically going to be, obviously since last week there's been nearly 20 games of football basically.
Yeah, double game week basically.
We're going to basically work our way through the table, start at the top, talk a bit about the Champions League fights and the 5th and 6th, then move down to relegation throughout the show. But like I just mentioned, we'll start off at the top, and Man City's win yesterday put them point ahead now? Point ahead with a game in hand, I believe.
2, yeah, still 2 in hand with 1 point ahead, because obviously Arsenal play tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they'll go back 2 games ahead, but yeah, we'll start in a week, shall we? When Arsenal travelled up.
Yeah, well, I saw, what did I say, 3-1, 3-0? I had 3-0 and you had 4-2 prediction.
Yeah.
I said if we'd get out the first 4 minutes, I think it was 37 seconds, we'd do alright.
Not
lasted 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And
they're ridiculous, aren't they?
They are, though, and that's...
They are, but De Bruyne and Haaland, that game, they were unbelievable. Like, they obviously know De Bruyne's a great player. Haaland, yes, he scores loads of goals, he's a good player, but I've never... Well, I only really watched him for a year, but yeah, Haaland was incredible.
Yeah, and he was, and he knew exactly what that game meant. The win would be massive for them, and he just bullied...
Yeah.
Stuck on Holding and just bullied him all game.
Mm-hmm.
The first goal comes from a long ball that Holding is then holding to Haaland, and that's just a complete mismatch.
Yeah.
Plays right in the corner. De Bruyne, great first touch, great second touch, and then thumps it in. That's a typical De Bruyne goal. You see him gliding with the ball and a great finish. And then it's Arsenal hanging on all half, and the goal on half time kills it. It's just, if you're gonna, we should have been 3-0 down anyway, but if you're gonna see the goal to Man City, you at least make it a good goal. A set piece goal for Man City is like, it's just.
And I thought it was offside, like most people would have, and then they obviously checked, and according to the lines, it was onside. But yeah, that sort of
drew the lines that day. Then.
Yeah, they did that. I did message you saying they drew the lines that night, but yeah, that was the killer blow, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah,
I thought it was developing as one of those, like you said, they were 1-0 up, but they had a few chances in the first half. I was like, oh, please score, please score.
Oh, they were always going to batter us because.
Yeah. Well.
To beat Man City, you've got to be perfect, and even to compete with them, you have to be perfect.
Yeah. I'll go on to now, but Arteta come out and said, where is it? Well, I've got it. Said the better team won today. We played an exceptional team, and he said we are too an exceptional side, but today we were not at the races, and they would. Even if you have 10 players and one player has a bad day, their City will probably take advantage of that and beat you. So yeah, you just were poor that night. Like
I was saying before. If City win their both games in hand, which they probably should do, as it stands right now, there'll be 4 points clear at Arsenal, all level games played. The only difference this season has been the head-to-heads, and that's I think
That's what
everyone
usually
knows
happens
Arsenal are
anyway.
the second best team in the league at the moment. They have been
Yeah.
this year, and Man City are the best. Man City's worst result in all competitions since February is a 1-0 away win at Palace. Like, that's just bonkers. They drew away at Leipzig and they drew away at Bayern. Like, okay, sorry, they're bad results. Like,
Yeah, no, I've got it. 18 games since that loss, which was Spurs somehow on the 5th of February, we beat them 1-0. All comps, they've 15 wins, 3 draws, conceded 11, but they've scored 56 goals. 56 goals, and again, that's Champions League games against Bayern, that's Leipzig, that's cup games when they smashed Sheffield United. Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
And Arsenal in that same breath, their last 13 games, 9 wins, 3 draws and a loss. Like, if you average that over the season, that equals 39 games, but it would have been, you'd get 90 points off that. And that's if Arsenal win the rest of their 5 games, they get 90 points. Like, we could quite easily lose the league by 5 points and still get 90 points. It's just the level that Man City are just a joke. And
and they've kicked in a perfect time.
Yeah.
For a fairly long time now, but yeah, they know. And certain players like Grealish and Moura, when he's needed, scores a hat trick in the semi-final, but we won't play him against Arsenal. We don't need to do that. You saw yesterday Alvarez scores a ridiculous goal.
Yeah, poor De Bruyne wasn't playing.
De Bruyne was unbelievable against Arsenal, and then he's got toenails too long and he can't play. Like, yeah, they're unbelievable.
Foden comes off the bench. The prime example was Ake was injured. So let's bring in the best right back ever to play in the Premier League, Kyle Walker.
Yeah, and then let's play a right-footed centre back, left back, and we'll have
Laporte on the bench the whole game because we can.
Yeah, they were very good. But I would say that Arsenal didn't lose the league that night. It was not. Yes, they got beat by City twice, but the 3 draws before, like everyone knows, that's what has cost them massively.
Yes, I would agree. I also, we just haven't been perfect, and to win the league, you have to be perfect against the City.
Obviously, those 3 draws, you weren't perfect. Those 3 games.
So. How do I explain this? Really, I'm not trying to shift the blame, but I'm also, what else can you do? We are fighting against a team of they're playing a different ball game to us. So basically, they play by different rules, different finances. They can get away with this sort of stuff, and I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. We drew 3 games, and it's like, it feels horrific. But with the 3, the Southampton draw is bad. Away at Anfield draw. And away at West Ham, a draw. Not many teams go to West Ham and
Spurs did.
and win.
True. Yeah, but no, you're 2-0
you think
you're 2-0 up at West.
What did City do last game? 2 games last year, they went to City 2-0 up, drew 2-2, missed a penalty in the last minute. That's what happens. Like
but you're having this unbelievable season. You're playing a West Ham sales who absolutely despise their manager, despise him. They hate him. They want him out. And you've been unbelievable. You are the second best team in the league, but you're 2-0 up at West Ham. And
you got to win it, but a draw at West Ham in context is
100%.
It's just one of them things, and I didn't think we'd ever win the league this year, and I've said it enough times because I just think City are just a relentless machine. If they go on to win the treble, then hands up, fair play. Like,
and now they are probably in total control of doing that quite comfortably.
I think Klopp brought it up once when he was at Bayern, and he said when he was at Dortmund manager as well, and he said they've got bazookas and we've got handguns. Like, so we've got bow and arrow. That was it. And Arsenal you have to hit the balls. Have to be perfect every game. We drew 3 games. Not great. Like, I know it's disappointing how it's happened. Yeah, but it's basically how I expected it to happen because City are just you can swap and change stuff, but we have to be. I mean, the only reason Liverpool have won 1 Premier League, that City have won 5 of the last 6 if they win this one, and Liverpool were perfect. I think Liverpool went 18 games winning they won the first 18 games, and then lockdown happened, and then they got a couple of draws. But by then they'd got a nice 9-point lead, something like that, and that's madly how you have to. If we win with the Premier, you have to do that.
No,
we get 2 injuries and.
And that's that
curtails our season.
You were at City, you were very poor against City, but I thought in particular Partey was dreadful. I know he's only on his own, but all the rest of it. But he had a terrible game again. You need to be perfect, and you need your best player's Partey to be perfect, and he was nowhere near it. And Holding, I don't think Holding was terrible, but it's Rob Holding. His best is probably not even close to Haaland's best, which Haaland was. So,
well, the perfect example was De Bruyne gets injured and Alvarez comes in. If we have to take out Odegaard, he's our De Bruyne.
Well, you saw that your subs.
Let's bring in Fabio Vieira. Like, oh my god, like that's the drop off you get.
Yeah, and even that game you brought on, I think Nelson and Nketiah and Trossard, but Nketiah's been very good for you when he had that little spell. But again, he's not Alvarez. Nelson's not Foden. Like, it's you. Like you said, you just have to. Your Arsenal have to be 11.
Holding isn't Laporte.
Yeah, Holding is bloody hell. I don't know. You could probably get in Spurs side, but yeah, it's very tough. But I can't say I'm not happy that you got smashed.
No, and like you said, you'll have to eat it because where we live and our friends, and that's the sad thing is that everyone wants City to win because no one cares.
No.
But then that's
no
also
one has, no one has a link to City. No one has a direct. No one is a Man City fan. No one knows.
Yeah, and it because like you said, they play with different rules to the rest of us. So it's
to me, City are just in.
It doesn't tarnish. It just makes it. By default, it's City,
I know what you're saying, yeah.
It's just one of them things. But I've been hearing people saying, I suppose I had a few conversations at Arsenal. This is Arsenal's biggest chance of title race. They're going to struggle for top 4 next season and whatnot. We all did this conversation last year. But Arsenal, the youngest squad in the Premier League, they've gone from 8th to 5th to 2nd, slowly improving each year. I personally don't think we're going anywhere.
No.
I think we'll be around. If you're going to compare us to the disarray Chelsea are in, or Liverpool have just been so inconsistent, United up and down.
No, I don't. Everyone, people are saying it's like the Leicester season where it's a one-off, and I don't personally believe it. I think you'll. No, I'm not saying we're nowhere near, but it's that similar period where we had Pochettino, we had a group of players that were young and exciting, and we had this and that happening, and we didn't win anything. That's irrelevant. But I'm saying that Arsenal is very similar in that they've got Arteta, they've got this young squad that are very good at now. So for the next, I think, 4 or 5 seasons at least, you'll be right up there. You probably won't win the league because if City carry on with Pep and they carry on spending, they carry on being the best that they are. I don't think you'll win the league, but I don't think you're going much further than 4th. Drop down much further than 4th over the next few seasons. And in that, what I need, what other clubs need is the likes of Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea to sort themselves out, and then start taking points off Arsenal's, Newcastle's, United's. Then it will level itself out, and hopefully City, and then it changes again. But I can't see you dropping no lower than 4th at all. That's
a good point you made about if, like you said, if your Spurs, Liverpool's, United's, Chelsea's all sort themselves out, with Newcastle getting better, and you think if Arsenal are going to stay at a level, that might bring the 96 points you need to win the league down a bit, because
it should do. That's
these
the
teams,
whole idea, exactly.
These teams hopefully would take points off City.
And if Liverpool were like they have been in recent history, all right, this year they might not be top 2 because of Arsenal and City, but they might be 3rd and be a very good 3rd side, and like you said, might beat Arsenal, might draw at City and beat them home, sort of thing. But yeah, it's just been Arsenal City basically until this. Everyone basically knew that this was a cup final essentially, and the other teams around have just been shocking.
And Erling Haaland's got his 50th goal of the season. What's he got? 34 in the Prem now? 35?
Yeah, he scored his 33rd against Arsenal, then 34th yesterday against Fulham.
Can he do that again?
If he stays, if he wants to stay, I think so. If he wants to stay at City, I think he's one of those he's like a bit of a maverick. He might do City for a year and go, actually, I fancy Madrid, I'm going to destroy the Liga and I'll retire at 26. I just think he's a bit of a total anomaly. But yeah, if he stays, Pep stays, then I don't see why not.
That's also what you're shooting against. So Arsenal's top goal scorer, I think, has got 15 goals this season.
Yeah.
And somebody's got 20 more goals than him. We've all had brilliant seasons. That for Arsenal's front three, Jesus has been injured for most of the season, but I think Saka's got 13 goals. You've got Martinelli on 15 goals, having the best seasons of their career so far. Add them 2 goals together, that's 26 goals. It's still like 10 off what one bloke scored.
Kane scored 25.
Yeah.
And Haaland's 50th goal in all comps. He scored and 34 in the Prem. So he scored more goals than Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, Everton, and Southampton. Just mental. Absolutely, the bloke is the scoring ability is ridiculous.
Goal scoring hasn't actually been Arsenal's problem though. So look at it. City have scored. He might have scored all these goals, but they've scored 84, and Arsenal got 78. Sorry. The issue is since Saliba's been out, the goal shipped has been.
It's this month, isn't it? It's the
shambolic.
April, so it's first of May today. But
City have conceded 30 goals this year. Arsenal 38. We conceded 7 this week.
He's getting 12 in April.
So it was 7. You got 4 against City, 3 against Southampton, 2 at West Ham, and 2 at Anfield.
Yeah, only Leeds have conceded more this month in April again. So
we'll get onto them as well. Oh my god!
But
they've got City up next.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I've got in my notes. I've just got Leeds, City, goodbye. But no, like you said, I mean, it's been a bit of probably a very depressing week, I imagine, as an Arsenal fan. But you did qualify for the Champions League.
Yes, the first time in 8 years, I think it is.
Finishing second to Leicester. So, yeah, 2015-16, you finished top 4. So.
And that's what I've been trying
That was the aim.
This week I've been trying to not take a back seat on it, but look at it in context and think, yeah, it is a really good season. Like you can all say, no, we haven't won anything, but which is fair enough comment. But we've improved again, and that's what this team is slowly doing. Like this, I think on the first episode, I wanted top 4. I wanted the trophy. I really wanted to win the Europa League. That was my main objective, was to win that, because of Arsenal have got an appalling record in Europe. But
I think if you weren't that close to winning the league, not that you, because you were focused on it, but I think you might have, if you were 4th and just firmly in top 4, but knew the league was out of question, I think you might have. I don't know. I think you might have done better. Cause I know you.
Yeah, agreed.
Your team's mind was just slightly sidetracked, I think.
Oh, 100%. If just for example, we were in a Newcastle United situation where look at Newcastle, for example. They are 11 points clear from 5th place, comfortably sitting. Yeah, I think you're right. We would have turned our attention to that as well.
You might have lost. You might have lost in a semi. You might have lost in the final. But yeah, I think you'd have done better than what you did.
There'd be more focus on that. Yeah, no, 100%. Because I think everyone bar Newcastle and Man United threw the Carling Cup away. Was it that round 3? Everyone wanted to get knocked out of that straight because it was stupid. Because the next round was 2 days after the World Cup final.
Yeah, it was because of the scheduling when it was.
Which was just
wanted to play it.
Which was just stupid. No, it's what it is. Arsenal got Chelsea tomorrow. I should go into. That should be interesting. Says Arsenal no win in 4. Chelsea have been a shambles.
Yeah, Chelsea are a shambles.
Odds on Smiley Frank getting one up on us. Oh my god,
that'd be incredible. Yeah, like you said, no win in 4 for Arsenal. But are you like as the season as it is? You look at the season, you go right. Arsenal tomorrow absolutely wipe the floor of them. But obviously the week you've had and whatever else, again the disappointment of the results maybe.
I think you'll know within
very, very, very surprising.
You'll know within the first 10 minutes what that score's going to be.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. Arsenal need to not do what they've done recently at home and concede after 30 seconds.
Yeah, just have the ball for a minute, you'll be alright.
Yeah, that's so.
But quickly, Merson said, this is Paul Merson sort of going back a bit, but he said this about Arsenal. He said they may not get in this position again. There is no way Arsenal finish above City next season. So Merson is totally given. I don't definitely disagree with him, but yeah, I think everyone knew who was closely linked with Arsenal how close this season was.
Yeah, but if we just say if you sit 100 football fans in a room and say right now who's going to win the league next year, I would say 97%, if not more, would say City.
I think City until I think you said it recently, but until Pep goes, I can't see much else happening because when Pep goes, some of the players will leave. They'll go to Bayern Munich, Madrid, or whatever they want to do. And maybe then it will slowly change, but yeah, if like we just said, if they want to turn it on, they turn it on, and they win everything. So
the thing Arsenal needs to do going forward is be ruthless in terms of recruitment. Like they've done really well so far in the last 2-3 years in recruitment. This year, there's obviously rumours of Rice, Caicedo, Plaza. If Arsenal want to go to the next level, they have to sign both of them. They wanted Caicedo in January, and apparently the plan was always to get Rice in summer. And then it means fringe players. We're in years gone by, and like Spurs, for example, you said you've still got 10 players that used to play for the Poch. You have to be like Smith Rowe hasn't really played this much. Can you get £40 million for him? Is it like that's the sort of?
It is. That's exactly. That's a good example.
That's the sort of thing.
A good player,
Joe Willock, for example, 35. Well, Arsenal, historic club. Think of all the world class players we've had over the year. The highest person we've sold is Alex Iwobi, because we've been so bad at hoarding these players who are good, but then you sell them at their lowest because that's what Arsenal have done.
Smith Rowe's perfect because he is a good player, and he was, but you're excited about him, and then there's been a few injuries, not really been consistent. So like now at this point, you have to go right. Sorry, but this is it. You got like use that word ruthless. You have to go right. You're out. We need someone else. We need a young, whatever European English midfielder, whatever he is. And that might think bloody hell, Smith Rowe's a brilliant player, but like you said, he hasn't really played this season. So
I think he'll do the same with Partey as well. I think potentially he doesn't. I don't think he doesn't trust Partey because Partey's had to be wrapped in cotton wool all season just to play 38 Premier League games, which he hasn't managed to do because he can't stay fit. There's no way that bloke can play Premier League high intensity game, Champions League high intensity game, Premier League. He can't do it. He will break down, and that's why they want a Rice and a Caicedo who they need both of them.
And Rice probably he's been injury free and all the rest of it, but like you said, he's played for West Ham every game. Europa League or Europa Conference League, even Europa League last season, plays all the time.
Plays for England, plays every game, then he plays every minute.
Yeah, you're right. He's probably the perfect player.
And that's where it comes down to. Where City got rid of Jesus, Sterling, and have improved their front three. Sterling, how many goals did Sterling score for them all the time, didn't he?
Yeah, he was perfect for them, and
they
were like, no thanks. Got loads of money for him. Got loads of money for Jesus and Zinchenko.
Cancelo the same as well. I know they haven't really got a left back, but they
don't need
they figure it out, don't they? They figure it out.
Yeah, they don't need one.
And that's what Arsenal are going to have to do going forward. I think even to an extent, Liverpool, for example, that's why they've had such a bad season because their midfield's just got stale and they haven't been ruthless in that.
But Liverpool, it's perfect. Like, it's sort of things are clicking in my brain now. It's like, yeah, you're so right. Is that Liverpool were doing that? They were ruthless. They were churning players over and over, getting new players here and there. They stopped for a season, basically, 2 transfer windows, and now all of a sudden they've fell off the face of the earth. Tottenham never do it properly, and that where we are and we've been a total mess. Chelsea and that's a recruitment. Chelsea have done it horribly wrong and gone the other way. Yeah, it's just, and now Arsenal have built up, and it's this season it's all clicked. But now this is the point. You go, you're right up there. You need to go. Obviously I'm Jack. No one's going to listen to me. Arteta's not going to listen to this, but yeah, they do know exactly need to do that this year. Go right. This is a massive opportunity. Smith Rowe, whoever it's Partey, not Sleep, but Sleep, Gabriel, whoever it might be, get a new goalie, whatever. Just they have to get their recruitment right, and now is probably the only or the best opportunity they get. And
one of the easiest things to do when you're doing well is sell players because the stock's high. Like when Arsenal were crap and they finished 8th, trying to get rid of Mustafi, Ozil, they had to get rid of all of them for free and pay them all off. But like you said, Liverpool, do you remember they sold Ryan Brewster for nearly £30 million? They sold Danny Ward to Leicester for like 15 mil. Never played a Premier League game. But when your stock's high, your reserve players' stock is even higher. Like, that's why I give the example of Smith Rowe, for example, that you might be able to get X amount from. You could get, I think Balogun, a perfect example, coming back from loan from France, scoring 20 goals. Surely you can get £35 million from him.
Easily 25, 30 for a young English striker. People that like Solanke, Bournemouth, whoever.
How much did Solanke cost from Liverpool? Like,
I think
it's like 30.
It's like 20 mil, something. But
Jordan Ibe, another one.
Yeah, and that's it. I always revert back to Tottenham, but this conversation is something that Spurs never do, and it's exactly what happened. We had Kane, Son, Ali, Eriksen a few years ago. Everyone was saying Kane's £150 million, Son's 100, Ali's 100, Eriksen you could probably get 70, 80 mil for him. We didn't sell, didn't move on, didn't regurgitate, didn't change our team. Basically, Ali goes for free to Everton and absolutely ruins his career in Turkey. Son is still at Spurs, probably get 50 maybe if we're lucky this summer if we try and sell him. But yeah, it's just
and Eriksen was sold with 6 months left in his deal.
Exactly. And Eriksen not even worth talking about selling him on. It's just, and that is huge, the recruitment, because I think, to be honest, Souness has just come off Sky, so I'm not a massive fan of him, but he said that at the weekend, the biggest thing, no matter about managers, players, it's not the manager's not in control anymore. It's the higher ups that do the hiring, firing, and recruitment. That is the number one important key to being a very good and successful side. And yeah, like I said, Arsenal this summer is the perfect opportunity.
Well, shall we move on to the top top six race?
Yeah.
What a week it's been for Spurs.
Interesting.
Since we last sat here, Stellini's been sacked. Mason's come in. You've played United and Liverpool, who are 2 teams above you. You've been accused of being a United fan.
Yep.
Liverpool have won 2 games. United have drawn and won. Do you want to talk me through your week? Starting at
Thursday, isn't it? Yeah. Thursday night, 27th April at Tottenham. And yeah, it was just same. Saw it at the weekend, but it was just same old start, wasn't it? Same old Spurs, 2-0 down. Called it a mile off, and yeah, it was just more of the same as the weekend at Newcastle. Mason come out and said before that he's going to have a team that excites the fans, but yeah, same formation, same performance. United could have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time, and the game is done. Yeah, it's typical. Nothing has changed. It won't change. It hasn't changed. We played Newcastle, Man United, and now Liverpool. We got 1 point from those 3 games. We're going to yesterday's game and say how this, that, whatever things could happen, but essentially we've lost the game. We've got 1 point from 3 games. Just we don't deserve anything more. We're just a bang average side.
And you've gone back to this thing of conceding goals stupidly early again. Beginning Conte season, you'd have a really bad first half and then you'd have a good second half, and you've sort of reverted back to that. A little point I want to make: do you think there's anything in it, the fact that Mason's in now, and the fact that you got back in both games rather than Stellini, where you just got whacked 5-0? Do you think players respect him a bit more, care for him a bit more, want to fight a bit more?
Yeah, maybe, possibly. It could be that.
Because United could have maybe potentially gone on and won 4 or 5-0.
It could have been 4 at half time.
It could have been the same yesterday as well.
Well, I thought that's what I was messaging you, but I just thought 3-0 inside 15 minutes was absolutely pointless. And that Liverpool were probably in that same situation. I was saying at the time when it happened yesterday, likes of Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones in the middle, what a day for them. 3-0 up inside 15 minutes, going to have an absolute field day against our horrific midfield. And then they probably just slacked off for a certain amount of time and let Spurs back in it. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I wouldn't say I understand what you're saying with that point, but it sounds really harsh, but not they don't care, but the players, I'm going to say it, but don't care. They're not fussed about Mason. Whether they think he's his mate or their mates outside of football, that it's 2 separate. They're friends, and they probably are friends, but yeah, they're just, when it comes to a match day at the minute, I said it, we're the easiest team. If you've got Spurs in the last, we've got 5-6 games left, you're rubbing your hands together. It's the easiest points. If you need a draw, you need a win, we'll play you, and we'll let you have it.
The problem is, from an outsider looking in at Spurs, it's that same 10 out of 11 players who are just crap. And I can only relate it back to what I've experienced in my club before, and they're all so dislikable. Maybe 9 out of 10. I'll put Son in there as well. But the rest of them are just so disliked that any of that back 4, how can you even the goalkeeper, the back 5, the 2 just, I think what Neville described them as, just workmen,
if you have one of them, if you have Skip or Højbjerg next to a Moussa Dembele, even Bentancur when he's fit, you sort of you forget, you just ignore the fact that they're almost, you're like, it's right, he works well in a team. You give it that classic line, but yeah, when it's Skip and Højbjerg, bloody hell. To be fair, Skip, I don't think it was that horrible yesterday, but it just isn't that good.
Should there have been any more looking at his tackle he made?
Well, Skip's. I did at the time. I said at the time it easily could have been a red. I thought they were going to give it as a red card, but it's one of those. I think it's a booking because he does. I know it's a horrific follow through, but he gets the ball initially. Yes, it's a slight touch, but he does deflect the ball, and technically it's a tackle. But yeah, with the video when they slow it down and
that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, he lands on his ankle. It looks horrific, and it it is horrific. But in normal time, he wins the ball and it goes straight out for a goal kick or corner, whatever happens. So, no, I think but then they don't. When it's a yellow card, they don't change the decision unless it was given as a foul. It's not. It's either red or nothing. So I can see why it wasn't given. But
no, I tend to agree. Like I said, it's one of them ones where they slow it down. It makes it look a lot worse than it is. Like, I think he got up pretty much straight away.
Yeah,
after
and
it. Doesn't look great, but
and I thought because it was Porty, I thought, oh God, here we go. Like this is anything could happen. But no,
good old Tierney.
Yep. Klopp's mate.
So like you said, 3-0 down after 15 minutes, and I sort of just lost interest then.
Yeah.
Kane scored like out of sort of nowhere really. They would just open up the back, counter attack came through, he scored. And then Kulusevski was through like, literally 30 seconds straight away, should have scored. Moving in the second half, Son hit the post.
Son had a chance in the first half.
Yeah.
Kane's goal.
Romero hit the post, and I was like, not really too sure what's going on here. Because there was like a couple of close offsides, but they obviously said because they didn't go in, they never really looked at it again. And you just think it might be one of them games that just sort of like wearing out. Because didn't he bring on Sarr for Kulusevski to sort of shore it up and play 5-3-2?
He changed it. And to be fair, the change when he had Son and Kane close together, Son was a different player, and he was making those runs that he's used to be doing and running in beyond Kane, looking for the longer ball. He was good, but it was just like you said, at 3-0, totally didn't care, could have turned it off, but then somehow going forward, we were quite good and we were making chances, hit the post twice, obviously scored the goal, and then Son, Romero's ball was a great pass, and Son makes it 3-2, and you think, bloody hell, like... Yeah,
3-2 was like 15 minutes to go still, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good times going for.
And Liverpool weren't really correct. Can't actually remember Fraser Foster making any saves, and he didn't. No. Because they actually said at the end of the game, we'll get on to it, they had 4 shots and 4 goals, and they didn't actually make a save all game.
No, he's awful. And to be honest, the first 2 were like good finishes, like the Curtis Jones on a weak foot, like sort of half volley, whatever it was a good finish. But the second goal, like my brother pointed out when we were watching it, but like it was Diaz when he hit a volley. It was a good finish, like really like tight angle, really good finish. But if you look at Forster, he just falls backwards like into the goal. He's just awful. Like, he's just a slow, cumbersome Sunday League goalkeeper. Like again, the finish, like I don't expect him to save it, but he's just so unathletic and rubbish. Like, it's just the way he stood there and just falls back like big oak trees have been chopped down. He just
It's hard the way he kicks the ball. He kicks the ball really, really hard. Like you said, there's no athleticism to it, or
no finesse about him. Yeah, again, I didn't expect him to save it, but I just thought like at least stand up and jump forward like a normal goalkeeper. Don't just fall back into your net like, oh my God, it's 2-0. Like, he's rubbish.
Good old Forster. And then the moment that changed the game, Jota kicking
that was
Skip in the head.
Card. That is just
so what I found really interesting about this was like the lack of, like on Sky, the lack of like shock that didn't even get reviewed.
No. Because Tierney was thinking about it, wasn't he? And all like Tottenham were, maybe they were obviously calling for the red card, but they were just again more in shock that what happened. They were like obviously touching the head and high boot and all the rest of it, but Tierney just sort of waddled his way through, didn't he? And was like, oh yeah, yellow card. Just like, and again,
even the fact that he brought blood, and you think, he's got to be.
He's obviously smashed him.
He's got to be kicked in the head. I know it wasn't. I know it was accidental, but you go down to that silly thing they always say. Oh, he endangered the opposition.
More endangered by a boot in the head. Like, boot to your skull. Well done. And he like Skip's probably my height, might be like 5'9", probably a bit taller, 5'10". He was probably hunched over to about 5'6", maybe 5'5", and Jota's boot was high and extended, and all the studs in his head. Just a red card. It's just a.
Do you think it's one of them ones you'd get at home, or you'd get against Brighton, or you'd get against someone like that? Not because of the fact that it's Anfield and
possibly. I think if it was like Brentford were playing Aston Villa at the weekend, and I don't know, Villa's midfielder, whoever
McGinn.
McGinn's raised his foot and whacked Tony in the head. Then and you turn match down. Oh yeah, McGinn got straight red for this. You'd be like, oh bloody hell, what a decision, Moura. But it's so true. At Anfield didn't happen. Tierney, they didn't even look at it, did they? Awful.
But that led to Skip being substituted, and
the goat.
I'm
The pig.
poo 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 poo. In came R9,
Poo poo.
and I was thinking he must. Is he gonna score? Surely he can't. Surely he can't score. I just had it. I was thinking in my head. I was
It
thinking
just prints money, didn't it? Richarlison coming on, goal booking.
at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like he used to be Evertonian.
Yeah.
Evertonian. Oh God! Like he's just the most dislikable, despicable man.
I'm going to mention him later on, but yeah, first goal of the season for Richarlison. 3-3.
Yeah, the free kick came in. I'm still not sure if he even touches the ball.
No, he definitely gets his nod on it. Gets his little beak.
And then straight away, Richarlison shirts off, get that tat on the back out.
It's a ripping tat.
Ronaldo, Neymar, and R9.
R9.
The real R9.
Andrede. Yeah, a good moment, and like I said, I'll talk about him later, but yeah, it's just...
This goal actually counted then. So
Yeah.
after the
Yeah. His season,
that would have been the third time he scored and the third time he's taking his shirts off and the third time he would have been booked.
Third time he's cried as well. But
And then he's off shushing the fans.
I do think though it's 50-50. You probably definitely won't say it's a penalty, but the foul on when Konate pulled him back, that could have been given quite easy. He didn't, and I'm saying it was. I think it was, but it definitely I can see why it hasn't been given.
The fact that it's on who it's on is probably why that hasn't been given. Because I also think, imagine you do it, just for heaven's sake, Fraser Foster's up front. You could not put Fraser Foster on the floor with that contact.
No, but it's still...
I don't think Harry Kane falls on the floor by what happened.
Maybe, no, but no one would. Richarlison shouldn't be. He did.
No, but Richarlison's that's what I'm saying, the sort of player it is.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but it's still a foul, whether he's tried to fall over, whether it's still a free kick.
I don't think the contact's anywhere near enough to be able to give that.
No, but Kanai had a stinker anyway, and don't know what he was doing. He just.
But I think he basically, your record goes as a player goes against you for acting up like that. And Richarlison, like you only need to blow on him and he falls over.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a foul, but also not given this. Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, I don't think Kane hits the deck.
No, I agree.
For that.
No, maybe not. And yeah, but to me that's irrelevant. That shouldn't come into the problem. But it ultimately goes back to the awful referees that we have in this country. And Klopp's mate Tierney. So.
Yeah, my mate as well. So then kick-off happened. Played it back to Alisson. Big boot forward. I was literally about to. I was tucking into my Nando's watching this. I had my button, and then I just heard Jota in front of me. What the hell? How has this happened? And he's come through and scored. And I was just like, and I Neville took the words straight out of my mouth. I said, "That is the most Tottenham Hotspur thing you would ever see."
That's what I said. Neville said exactly that. And I said because obviously I read like the reports after the game, whatever, and the report said Moura gave Tottenham arguably their finest hour with his hat-trick in Ajax, but then capable of an error against Liverpool. Shows why Tottenham haven't moved forward. And that synopsis is a great way to explain, in short form, our modern history to someone that has no idea who Tottenham are. Just watch that 90 minutes of football and it sums it up perfectly. Like we said, got a player, Lucas Moura, like we just said, incredible moment in Ajax and was a good player for a very short period, but why is he still at the club? Why, and I'll get into Lucas because I almost feel sorry for him, but not because of that night in Ajax, but you can't be angry or annoyed purely on this season for him because he doesn't play. He's in and out of the squad. He's in and out of the matchday squad, just on the bench. His injuries this season have stopped him from playing. I've got here. He's played 13 times in the league this year. The most game time he's got in a single game was 45 minutes. 3 games in Champions League. 1 game he played about 70 minutes in the FA Cup. 3 times for the under-21s. His last Prem game was Everton, where I know he got the red card after about 60 seconds. So then he misses 3 games. He's on the bench for United Thursday and then subbed on yesterday for 1 minute and obviously slips in Jota.
Did he only play 1 minute?
Yeah, he literally come on. No, he just come on. That's what he's...
What?
Yeah.
I didn't realise when he came on.
He came on 90th minute. That's what I'm saying.
Well, after the goal?
Must have, yeah. A little tactical win it, you know. Lucas, he needs to get an assist and, yeah, volleys one into Jota's pass.
Oh, God.
Just sums up. But then, yeah, Jota...
But that's going back to what we said earlier. How much you pay for him? 35 million?
Bit less, but even don't matter.
30 million. He's now going in 5 games time for
nothing.
free.
Yeah,
Like,
and I feel sorry because he must be just the most easily influenced bloke. Because why is he playing for the under-21s? Why is he playing youth football at 30 years old? Like, just what are you doing? Just leave and carry on. Go back to Brazil and play for your home club, or go wherever you want. But he's obviously just the nicest bloke in football, and he's so genuine. But this year, it's just not been good for him at all. But then I feel sorry for him because why the manager's persisting him, just chucking him in there? Why is he coming on yesterday in 90th minute? Why?
I thought it was something for last. I thought he was playing right wing back for a bit.
Why is he coming on? Just so many bad decisions.
But great finish from Jota.
Yeah.
But like you said, that's just it's so Spurs that
it is.
just
Sums up.
You'd probably rather lose that game 4-0 and like not even have that
and
have that enjoyment, because it just makes the loss even worse, and it's just like really
and
like
the fact it's Richarlison.
We're
booing him. They absolutely hate him. And it's him in the fact that the way he celebrated, runs, shushes, jumps in the crowd, takes his top off, shows his terrible tattoo, and then he does that stupid with Sonny.
them two doing that celebration is iconic.
And it's not like it's not Eric Dyer hasn't headed one in or whatever. Kane's not scored another goal is fucking Richarlison, and they go up there and then score. It's just ridiculous.
A thing on Dyer, why you mention it, this week as well, but more so every time Spurs like lose or something like this, and there's a goal, he seems to always be the one either with the sad face or the one doing the last ditch tackle because he's out of position.
He is.
Like he was the one. No, it was his fault. He was out of position, but he was the one trying to slide for Jota.
You see the goal from the different angle from behind, and Dyer just slides across the screen, looking back at the ball. Oh god, here we go. Yeah, and you're right. And he's always trudging away.
It's always him trudging away
with his like little Bane haircut, and he's huffing and puffing because he's just conceded his fourth inside 10.
There's so many times. There's no man. He always the man on the camera, isn't he?
Yeah.
The one I could picture is the Southampton one when it was just straight to him through always trudging away like.
It's the one. I think that was that. I don't know what was the game when Liverpool. I think at home, the clearance when he just lumped the clearance off. But
even when he went on Thursday when he's 1-on-1 against Rashford and just gets nowhere near him, a little chimmy, he whacks it in. How many times he walked back to that halfway line?
Trudging. A little like triangle haircut. Yep, that was us.
Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but
Liverpool now 4 wins in a row, unbeaten in 6. They're currently 5th, 7 points off 4th, so there's a very, very slim chance of top 4. But yeah, they've again this last little bit they've got a nice run.
Won 4 on the trot for the first time all season, I believe. And like you said, drawing to Man United, and Man United winning yesterday. Newcastle getting back-to-back wins, big wins as well. 3-1 against Southampton and 5-1, 4-1 at Everton. Cements them in the top 4.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're 6th, 54 points, 9 off 4th place. That's
done. Yeah,
that's all she wrote.
I think, like I said the other week, once the games level out, we'll be below where we are, 7th, 8th. Possibly.
Can I ask you a question? Would you rather finish... Rank these in order, actually. Where would you rather finish? Europa League, UEFA Conference League, no European football, 8th.
Yeah, 8th. 100% 8th.
Would you rather... Would you rather finish 6th than 8th?
No, 8th. 8th and 6th or 7th, yeah. Currently, yeah.
You'd rather no European football?
Yeah, and just start again. Big, hard reset, start again. I mean, not... we need that. We almost do need that. We just need... Because like I said, we're a total mess. We haven't got a manager. We haven't got a permanent manager. And we've got Ryan Mason, his mates, FC. We need to stop, and Levy needs to give his head a wobble and start again. Yeah.
Right.
8th now, yeah.
I think is that a good place to stop for a break and then...
Yeah, also, Jurgen Klopp is unbearable.
How have we missed that?
He's unbearable.
Oh, Jurgen.
What a knobhead.
Yeah, he had a pretty hot interview. He was slagging off race as well. Mason needs to worry. He said Spurs are the world's best counter-attacking team, but they need to do more than that because it's just not enough. They don't play good enough football.
Oh, he's unbearable.
Pulled his ham. He's celebrating in front of the fourth official.
That was outrageous. Well, the fourth official, like if he was on a street, that bloke, he'd just lamped him. He'd just
the way he runs was so aggressive in it, and then just
yeah. He's like he's got a shield on his arm.
Yeah.
He's like always striding forward. I hate him. And then when I think they missed a chance or something, he's on his hands and knees, like laying on the floor. He's just a knob. He's always gurning, and he's got like horrible underbite. Oh, he's unbearable.
Yeah, and he also called Tierney. He was like, he's got some problem with me. He's got some problem with us.
Yeah, like he spoke about when Kane should have got sent off 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, Klopp, you have the problem with Tierney, but yeah, Jurgen Klopp, unbearable.
Right. Anything else you got to add?
No, yourself?
No. Right. We'll have a quick break, and we're back with the relegation battle down the bottom of the league.
So we're going to start and move on to the relegation scrap and battle, but obviously tonight is a huge game. Everton at Leicester tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff?
Yes, yeah. Sky Sports define a more six-pointer.
Yeah, massive.
Do you know what the interesting thing about tonight's game is that whatever happens, Forest go into the bottom three.
Really?
Because Forest are on
point,
30, Leicester 29 and Everton 28. Both got a better goal difference than Forest. So whatever happens, if it's a draw, the Leicester go out, Forest drop in.
What do you reckon?
Prediction, yes. Let's have a little prediction on this. I'm going to go for what I want the result to be. And I want it to be 2-0 Leicester. Or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to go Leicester win. I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester. J-Vards, both of them.
I think Leicester. I think Leicester will get a result tonight, but I'm gonna stand by my man Dyche. They've been absolutely terrible on Everton. Let's have a look. Everton no win in 6. They've been a shambles, but tonight it's gonna be. What are they gonna do? Demarai Gray's gonna nick it. They're gonna win 1-0.
Calvert-Lewin's back of the money.
Don't need these.
Demarai Gray.
He's just a model. No, they got Demarai Gray. It'll be 1-0. Dyche in the near corner with the away fans giving it a fist pump full time. Toffees are staying up.
Would you agree with the statement? Whoever loses go down.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's?
I think the bottom 3 at the minute are in a obviously Forest. Like you said, the result it don't matter. They're in the bottom 3. Those I think it's from the 5. So I think it's from Leeds, Forest, Leicester, Everton. I think Southampton are gone.
Yeah, it was your friend who said Southampton keep giving me some glimmer of hope. Like the Arsenal result was the glimmer, and then to lose at home to Bournemouth is shocking. And
there's no win in 8 for Southampton.
And then to go 1-0 up at St James's Park and throw it away,
You said earlier about the context, but Southampton drawing at Arsenal. I think there's a weird little thing going around. They like beat City in the cup, didn't they?
Oh yeah. You seen the tweet?
Yeah, they've got some fantastic results, but they don't need those results. Like out of context, I think they look like good results, but in their current season, the point at Arsenal is irrelevant.
The double over Chelsea.
Yeah. I think I don't know. They've got some, like I said, the points here and there, but yeah, it just means nothing. And like I said, no win in 8. They're rock bottom. They've conceded 60 goals. Oh yeah, I think they're gone.
Everton and Southampton have both won 6 games this season. I think both can count themselves very, very fortunate that Forest blew up the way they did in the last 10 minutes away at Brentford.
Yeah, I really thought they'd nick it that day, but
because they had a cracking result. They played fantastically well at home to Brighton, winning 3-1. But if they had won that against Brentford, there would have been 33, and I think that would have made them safe. But Leeds are in free fall like I've never seen free fall before. There's some stat going around that they've conceded the most goals in a month ever Premier League history. I think it's 21.
Leeds, 1 point.
Previously held by Leeds, wasn't it?
1 point in 5, conceded 18 in those 5 games. Leicester 1 win in 11 games. Forest 1 win in 13. In that time, they've also been beaten by West Ham and Leeds. Yes, like I said, Southampton no win in 8, Everton no win in 6. So they're obviously there for a reason, but yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like I almost don't want Everton to go down, but
I do.
I can't see much else happening for them.
I do. I know I want your mate to go down. I just want Everton down because I love a big team down there. I was actually speaking to JJ actually about it at the Championship, and for a few years now, I'd say since Villa have been promoted, maybe Villa and Leeds, I've sort of lost interest in the lower leagues a little bit because the Championship now, I look out for Sunderland, and that's really about it. Like, I don't really look at any of the results. Like Burnley have won the league. Burnley and Sheffield United got promoted again. Like how many times have they been up and down? It's
That's what
I want new clubs in there. You want new clubs to make it a bit more interesting. And Everton being in the Championship,
the ones from Championship this year, like Burnley won the league comfortably. Sheffield, like I said, Sheffield United back in, and from the playoffs, just no one. You're not going to go to Burnley. Sheffield United isn't.
But the only difference I said this year is I mean, I'm glad Norwich aren't going up because that's just been typical.
Yeah, that'd been a joke.
The interesting thing is the playoffs this year it's Borough. At the moment, it's Middlesbrough, Luton, Millwall, and like Blackburn are in and around there. There's another club around there. I would like any of them teams. Sunderland are around there. I think Sunderland are 6th and maybe Millwall are 5th.
3rd Luton, 4th Borough, 5th Coventry, 6th Millwall. And one game to go?
1 game to go, yeah.
Apart from Borough and Luton.
I'd quite like, but maybe not Borough, because Borough have always been in the around. I'd like a new club I like new teams in the Premier League. Like a Forest, it's refreshing to see.
So technically, I think, if results go all the ways it should, Sunderland have a chance still to get in playoffs. West Brom and Blackburn can all still get in the playoffs if results go their way. But yeah, that 4 in a minute, Luton, Borough, Coventry, Mill, it's not. I don't know. It's just like you said. It seems like the same teams go up and down, and there's been no big shift.
And another reason, well, this is a personal reason why I'd like Everton to go down would be I've always wanted to go to Goodison, and next year is our last year at Goodison. So I think to get a ticket for even like for example, we said Ipswich versus Everton would be great to go watch.
Yeah, imagine that like Ipswich going up, Everton travelling to Ipswich, that'd be huge.
Yeah,
that's mental.
This is an interesting one. I was listening to a bit on TalkSport, and there was a Liverpool fan on, and he goes, "It would mean as much to me, Everton going down than it would Liverpool winning the league."
Who's that?
Liverpool fan. What would you rather? Spurs win the league or Arsenal relegated?
No, I think probably win the league, but that is a close call. I don't know though. It would be good, but win the league.
Because they were saying, won't you miss the derby? I said, no, I wouldn't miss the derby. I had last Spurs get relegated.
Yeah, no,
you have to deal with that stressful fixture twice a year.
That would be brilliant, but I think win the league just. But I know what you're saying it would be incredible. That's why I was quite excited this year about West Ham,
but it was quite funny. This Everton fan was
bless you.
Excuse me. I've been holding that for a while. Everton fan was like, we've got 5 games left, and he was like, we're going to win 3 of them. No, we're going to win 3 of them and draw the other 2, something like that. Lose 1. And I think you said it on the show the other week. And the bloke was just talking through it. It's like, you're telling me that you've won 6 games all year, and you want to win 50% of them in your last 5.
And that's what I was saying again. But yeah, like you said, Everton and Southampton both won 6 games. Then they're not just like Southampton. You said the great point against Arsenal. Was it Bournemouth they lost, and then Newcastle they lost. They've got a few games left. They aren't just suddenly going to turn it round and go on a mad run. It's just not the way it goes. And yeah, exactly what that fan's thinking is going to happen, but it just won't. It just won't happen.
And Leeds, they lost again at the weekend. Was it 4-1 to Bournemouth?
Yeah.
What a job at Bournemouth O'Neill's done.
Yeah. Very
and like you said, I'd say they're safe. 34 points, 34 games. Sorry. 39 points, level on points now with Chelsea, which is just bonkers. Yeah. Wolves, shocking result at the weekend.
On that, Bournemouth won 11. I know Chelsea got 2 games out, but they've only won 10 as well.
Yeah, it's just but Bournemouth done superb. Wolves, shocking result, but I think they're just about safe.
Yeah, I think West Ham win 1 more, they're definitely safe. I think 37 is enough.
Yeah,
I think 37 is more.
Leeds though, 67 goals conceded this season.
Shocking.
Only Bournemouth and Forest have conceded more.
But look, I've got the tables where we're probably looking at it, but the goal difference, like Forest on -32, that's a whole point. Like Leicester on -13, that's pretty good. That's very very good goal difference.
That's like I said, if it's a draw tonight, then Forest drop in on goal difference, don't they?
And on Leeds as well, we said it earlier, but they're travelling to City next game. I think it's at the weekend. They got them away on a Saturday at
3 o'clock,
or something.
which is on Sky.
So, yeah, City 8, Leeds 0.
Yeah, the weekend fixtures, you've got Bournemouth, Chelsea. Oh my God, can you imagine? Battle of the mid.
Oh.
Man City versus Leeds. Spurs, Palace. Wolves, Villa. Liverpool, Brentford. Newcastle, Arsenal. West Ham, West Ham have got Man City away at the weekend, in midweek, and then they've also got Man United at the weekend.
Oof.
Fulham, Leicester. Brighton versus Everton. And Forest, Southampton. Some tough games. That Forest Southampton one's got to be the final nail in the coffin for Southampton, surely.
Yeah, if they don't win it, they have to win, and they have to win like 3 or 4-0 because again their goal difference is the same as Forest, -32. And that's with what we're saying about Leeds. They got City next. Their goal difference is shocking anyway. That's another 3-4 goals ship the other way. Yeah,
I think Leeds still got to go to Chelsea as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Leeds' fixtures.
tight.
Leeds' fixtures are tough. Everton's are tough. Everton's do play though a few clubs around them though. But I think it's going to go down to the last day. Definitely down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Spurs have got Leeds last game of the season away, so they might need a result to stay up.
Well, they needed the result last year, didn't they? Well, this is what we were saying at the weekend as well. Everton have been on this slippery slope for a while. They've been slowly just becoming worse and worse. And Leeds clinged on by the skin of their teeth last year.
And even recently, Everton were close, weren't they? I think they escaped it by a few points, but yeah, Everton are struggling big time. And Dyche came in, didn't he? It was a bit exciting, and he sort of made them a bit more secure. But there's just such a poor group of players going forward. It's irrelevant how good they are at the back; they still can't score. So
yeah, it was like 25 goals scored all season. I think that's the fewest. In fact, yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it is the fewest.
It is. Least amount of goals.
It's the fewest. That's. But like we said, Neil Maupay, he just can't score goals.
No.
You've got Ellis Sims and Calvert-Lewin who can't play games. He just
barely can't play two games in a row without getting injured. So.
And the reason they set up last year was because of Richarlison, and they haven't got him anymore.
You can have him back if you want.
I'm not sure his goals this year would have helped.
Yeah, Christ.
And like I said, Damari Gray is literally their only hope going forward. Iwobi's been okay, but Iwobi doesn't score goals. And like you said, there's only so much good defending you can get away with. Pickford's been shambles really for Everton, but he normally is, and then he's
How
good.
bad is Melier as well? Do you see it?
Oh.
See him in the week. I think in the week it was a blatant error. Sorry, but it was a goalkeeper looked and said, right, that's awful. He did something, he should have done something else. And then at the weekend,
But even Fulham the weekend before as well.
Nice.
It was the first.
People out there, people told me actually. Within our friendship group said Melier is a good goalkeeper. We should sign him. What a shit goalie he is. Awful player.
He's not like the Lloris regen, is he?
No, he is, but somehow worse.
Left-footed French.
Yeah. He is. He's just awful, riddled with mistakes. Yeah, terrible goalie.
So give me a prediction then. Your bottom three.
I was having to think then. I think Southampton. Everton. Shocking. No, I'm gonna.
Everton are staying up.
Yeah, they're staying up.
Everton are staying up. They're too big to go down. I think. Honestly, I can't see them go. I want them to go down, but I don't think they will.
Southampton down. I think Southampton, Forest, Leeds. That would be incredible.
I don't want to sound like I'm sitting on the fence, but I'm actually going to agree with you there. I do think Leicester and Everton will both get out of it.
Because surely Leicester, they've got Maddison and Vardy. They're going to score some goals somewhere. Surely they can.
Leeds are in free fall now.
Yeah,
and I thought Garcia had really turned a corner for them, and they're winning some games. But the way they're 4-1 to Bournemouth, that is horrific.
Yeah, and you could lose. I think we said the other week, but you could lose and stuff. But the way Leeds are doing it, just getting
5-1. Was it 5-1 Palace? 6-1 Liverpool. 7 was it?
And then, like we said, they're not even playing City. They're playing City this week. I didn't play them earlier on, but yeah, they're playing Bournemouth, Palace, and getting absolutely torn apart. So yeah, for me, I think those two out, Leeds and Forest drop in.
Although it's a difficult one because I do think if Leicester win tonight, they'll go 30. I know it's a ifs and buts, but if they win tonight, they'll go 32 points, Everton will be, or still 2 off safety. That's 2 points. You can get that back. No, I think Everton and Leicester will be safe. We both said at the beginning of the podcast, the very first one, that Leeds would go down.
Yeah.
That's our hot take. Leeds would be finished bottom.
They've got to. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like Everton to stay up because of Dyche, really, but so I'm sort of just sticking to my guns. But again, that current bottom 3 I suppose Forest, like I keep forgetting, but after tonight they're in the bottom 3 regardless. So maybe Leicester stay up, but I'm gonna go Southampton, Forest, Leeds.
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to agree with you. I'm going to go the same. Southampton, I think, are rock bottom. They're not. They're not getting out of that.
Because again, if they win, they're still in the bottom 3. They're still bottom. So. And
Forest
they
goal
got 3
differences
games left. Yeah, it's just they're gone.
Everton or Leicester, though, which one could slip between?
Everton have been shocking. They've been awful, and their run, like you said, their running's quite difficult. Yeah, it's gonna go right down to the end, I think.
Very interesting one. I can't split them. I'm gonna agree with yourself and go with them 3. Right, we've been sent in a fair few questions from our listeners this week, and some from last week as well, and some from some new listeners. And I'll start off with a new listener who followed us in the week, James Boyle. I think that's how you pronounce it. Boyall, so Boyle. Tough one for both of us actually, because me personally don't watch that much football league football. But he's asked, who is the most underrated non-Premier League player?
That could be any league.
Any league,
anywhere.
But just like a personal preference. I've gone for, not saying he's underrated or anything, because I don't have my opinion wouldn't be valid to say this player, but an Arsenal right back who plays on loan at Coventry, Brooke Norton-Crofty, is looks a very tidy young player, 19 years old, English, and I think he could be in the model of like the Jed Spence. Maybe the move to Spurs, for example, like you said, was too soon. He should have gone mid-table and then go up like that to get the game time, because obviously Conte didn't fancy it, etc., etc. But he's someone I think could come in next year and maybe be a reserve right back, start off in the cup games and things like that. And obviously not saying he's going to start for Arsenal, but he can. There's a progression there. I think he's good enough to be a first team player in and around.
That's good answer.
Any players like that for Spurs?
No,
but what's it? Dale Scarlett.
Yeah, Dale Scarlett.
What's the one at Norwich?
We've had Troy Parrott recently.
That's the one, Parrott.
We bought Jack Clark, didn't we, from Leeds, and then he basically never played. He's gone to Sunderland doing quite well in the Championship, and even I mean, is it Kirkin or Sirkin or something? He plays like he's a left-footed, left-sided player. I don't know about our youth, but that's a good question. I'd have to research and have a look. Like you said, I really only watch the Prem and
any town players.
No, they love Wes Burn. Is it Wes Burn or
I don't know.
And Chaplin, he scored at the weekend.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Obviously, True Rap comment.
Ben Foster.
Akpom in the Championship, top goal scorer, comfortably for Borough, been very good. Maybe that's his level. He might, if they don't go up, he might be one of those that someone takes a chance on. Either one of those sides that goes up. I wouldn't be surprised to not see him in the Prem next year. Maybe. Yeah, good question. I would have to have a bit more time on that one, I think.
And then we've got one from Callum Doyle. The year is 2024. Will Theo Walcott still be banging goals up front?
Well.
This is aged well.
Yeah. This little comment has aged brilliant.
This was sent last week, and we didn't actually have time to get through these questions. But I was at home yesterday, and my phone went off looking at notifications. Theo Walcott own goal. I mean, Theo Walcott, I love him. I followed him for his whole career. Has been basically me growing up as well, watching him as a 16-year-old kid at Arsenal for 10 odd years, however long it was. I've never, ever, ever seen Theo Walcott score an own goal. But
But you're messaging me like, I'd love to see it.
What does the goal look
Why
like?
is he near the goal to do it? Yeah. And
I thought it's got it from a corner,
yeah,
and it's
and he's
just.
just standing like a lemon, and he just knew, he's like, oh fucking hell.
Thing on Walcott, which I just found really fascinating, is from the age of 16 to like 31, he's chosen to shave all his hair off and have like no hair. And then all of a sudden he's just decided, no, I'm going to grow it. He's got a fucking like, ponytail now.
He's got really long hair. It's weird bloke.
No, on this one, Callum, I think if you get relegated, I think that Walcott will leave. His contract's up at the end. I can't picture him being in the Championship. I think he might go to America and do a year in America. Or he'll just retire and be like, right, I've done enough.
Yeah, or he goes to wherever, in Dubai or wherever they...
Yeah, Saudi.
Saudi, and earn a few quid before he hangs
I
up
can't
the boots.
picture him going down the English league, personally. Might be wrong. He might want to stay with Southampton and get promoted, but I think he's got America written all over him. Yeah. For 1 year.
LA.
Yeah. Something like that.
Slick back hair.
Yeah.
Shades on.
Right, another question from Matt. How are you pronouncing his surname? It looks
Devro.
French.
Devro.
Yep. He goes, this one's for Jack Kindle Brown. Can you have one word to describe Richarlison?
Just a weirdo. I think he's just a total freak. That's it. He's a freak. I keep saying, but I'll mention him later on. But yeah, I don't know. He's an absolute freak. Yeah, he's not been his year at all, is it? It's not been his season.
No,
all.
it's not been.
Yeah, but that sums him up. That moment of the weekend just sums him up perfectly. And yeah.
Yep. Question from I'm about to sneeze again here, so I'm going to try and refrain from it. Question from our Thai resident, Andy Boyden. If West Ham United win the Europa Conference League, will they be a bigger club than Spurs?
Next question. That's just not true, is it, Andy? You freak as well. You and Richarlison can do the pigeon in Thailand together next year. Never a bigger club than Tottenham.
James Griff, final question, and in typical James Griff style, would you rather be given £500,000 right now, or flip a coin for £1 billion?
And the sense parts are 500k and then you invest it. All this rubbish. No, give me the coin. Flip it up in the air. 50 or 50. Let's go.
0 or 1 billion.
Yeah. So I've got 0 now. So I'm alright.
No, I tend to agree. If it was like 10 mil, then yeah, it'd be like no, I'd take that. But 500k, like, not saying it's not a lot of money, but 1 billion is like a lot of money.
1 billion. So yeah. Another great question.
Would 500k change a lot? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Would it change? I don't know.
Probably would, but I'd have a go on 1 billion.
Yeah.
All or nothing kind of guy.
Right. Moving on to Team of the Week. We've got something a bit different for you guys this week. Because there has been about 20 games
it's too much
since we last. We couldn't decide. There's too many players to get into 6 positions. And what we've decided to do is do a whole team fan vote, basically. Yeah,
we're going to put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, all the rest of it, and let everyone decide who they want in it this week.
Shall we reel off the players we've decided to go for?
So
and obviously we'll put them in polls. Once this is posted online, we'll put them in polls and people can vote for them.
So we've gone 2 goalies, Leno and Steele. Leno from Fulham, mainly for his game yesterday. Although they got beat, he was very good. Steele, Brighton, was it 2 wins in a week for Brighton?
No, they lost against Forest, but he made a fantastic penalty save and made about 5 or 6, 7 saves in that game.
And they beat Wolves.
And they beat Wolves 6-0, comfortably, Clean
sheet. 2 goalies to choose from. Obviously, pick one. Then we've got John Stones, Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth, Pascal Gross, because he's, like you said, he's been playing sort of right back, for Brighton over the last couple of games. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. Again, Stones was similar to Haaland, De Bruyne, just brilliant against Arsenal. And
another goal.
Win. Another goal and a win at the weekend. Lloyd Kelly, 2 clean sheets or 2 wins? No, 2 wins for Bournemouth. Only conceding once. Gross, again, scored a brilliant goal. Was good for Brighton at the weekend. And Trent's been good.
5 assists and 5, I think. Again, with this new hybrid role he's been playing.
Yeah, so again, 4 defenders to choose from.
2 get chosen, don't they? Yeah.
2 from that selection. Midfielders, we've got Lerma from Bournemouth, Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, Joe Willock and Kevin De Bruyne from Man City. And then strikers, we've got 3 to choose from. Callum Wilson scored, 4 in a week?
Yeah.
Haaland, again, like we said, ridiculous against Arsenal.
Breaking the record and...
Yeah, all sorts. And then Ivan Toney as well. Brentford had another good week.
Scored yesterday as well, didn't he?
Yeah, so, this week, like Tate was saying, just a bit different. Obviously, like we said, a lot of games to choose from. People have been good, they were bad one game, good the other. So, yeah, we thought we'd put this up there and let you decide, and then we'll release it probably the day after or 2 days' time.
Yeah, no, that works well. Right. Should we move on to winner and loser of the week?
Yeah. Do you want to start us off?
I'll start off my winner. My winner is Bournemouth / Gary O'Neill. What a job that man's done. Considering we all mocked him, we've mocked him on here. I think most people in the pub would have mocked him and said they're down. We lost 9-0 to Liverpool. Parker got sacked. We're all questioning why you're getting sacked after 3 games. They've played Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. Like 4 games, I think it was, and they beat Villa. It was a bit harsh. Everyone had Bournemouth. I guarantee basically nearly every person had Bournemouth down in their pre-season predictions. The only reason I didn't is because I made a mistake and I thought got Scott Parker mixed up with Fulham. But that'd be the only reason. And it was everyone just thought they were done and dusted. Like they didn't sign anyone particularly. They were just a couple of free transfers and
they had a match day. But the side they had out over the weekend, there was like a few free, like you said, a couple free transfers. Like some players from England, some players from Europe for cheap price. I think the most expensive at Lerma's like 25, 35 million.
And he's been there a few years though, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that's the most they've spent, but yeah.
And for Gary O'Neill, his first job in charge, fantastic. Like they've won 4 of their last 6, and they haven't exactly been against easy teams as well. Winning away at Spurs, winning away at Southampton, that's a great result. That were very unlucky against Arsenal all them weeks back. They just looked. Did they beat Chelsea? Or they drew? Oh, there was something like that, but I can't remember. He's just been fantastic. Said 11 wins. 11 wins. Chelsea got 10. Like it's just phenomenal. He's done a really. I can't praise him enough for.
Yeah, and like you said,
everyone. No one believes in him whatsoever.
And somehow he's got the players believing in him and what they want to do. Yeah, it's a good one. I've gone winner of the week, Erling Haaland. Scored his 33rd and 34th goal in the Premier League this season. 50th goal in all competitions, equals the Premier League record with 34 goals in a 38 game season, because I think Andy Cole done it in 93, 94, Shearer done it in 95, 96. But they both got 34, but that was in a 42 game season. He could easily reach 40 Premier League goals if his sort of form continues and the amount of games they potentially could have. And yeah, all in his first season with huge expectations, and I think he surpassed what people thought they would see. Yeah, a lot of people predicted he'd be good, but I don't think anyone could see him doing this. And yes, he's part of a brilliant side with an exceptional manager, but it's very difficult. You've seen with plenty of players how difficult it is to join a new side, a new country, a new team with new management, a new style of play, all the rest of it. And he absolutely destroys everyone. For example, Grealish, massive price, huge expectations. Probably take him over a year to sort of find his feet, and slowly you're seeing a real player that he is. But yeah, Erling Haaland's just been ridiculous. And I go on about it, but the Arsenal game, I thought he actually was a brilliant player. He's not that good, but I didn't know he was capable of being that good, and he's just an unbelievable player. So yeah, Erling Haaland, winner of the week.
Perfect. Do you want to do your loser in tandem with mine?
Yeah, I think we might. I think with that smirk, we might have a similar player.
Do you want to have a countdown 3, 2, 1 and then do it?
I'll do the pigeon or. Yeah. So
does your winner start with R and end with N?
Yes, and the middle bit is Richarlison. Yeah, my loser of the week, Tate's loser of the week is Richarlison. Again, we don't talk about this. It's just we've come down here and this is what it is. But yeah, I'll say my explanation, and you might have a similar one. But yeah, scores the 3rd goal. He, like most who are watching the game or involved in the game, thought he'd snatched a point and celebrated accordingly, shushing the Liverpool fans, whips his top off, jumps towards the Spurs fans, gives it the pigeon with Son. I thought, right, here we go, nice point away at Liverpool. But then for Tottenham to concede moments later, just sums up Richarlison's season really, and Tottenham's season and how we've been. So yeah, Richarlison gets my loser of the week.
No, you said it very well there. Just another point I'd like to add is that Richarlison has got more yellow cards for excessive celebrations than goals scored this season, because he got booked before he taking his stuff off it. Dislav Avar.
He's just absolutely having one, isn't he? He's
He's
absolutely
just, yeah.
Just there's no, you can't. It's hard to explain and put into words, but yeah, it's everything he's done and tried has not worked. Even the weekend he scores, throws his body on the line, gets a little header in, and even that backfires. Yeah.
Somehow scoring a goal, and in the way he scored it, is funnier than not scoring any goals at all.
Yeah, he's better off actually not coming on and not being involved than coming on and doing what he did. So, yeah.
I still think it's a strange signing for you, considering he hasn't played on the wing for years for Villa, for Everton. He's a striker. Obviously, no one plays behind Kane. I don't know. Maybe if Kane got injured, he got to run 5, 6, 7 games as a number 9.
Maybe, but also I think the way we play and all the rest of it, because we're geared towards Kane and Son, and that's our team and that's what we rely on. These odd games that Richarlison's thrown in, when he's thrown in, it doesn't help anyway. But he's thrown in a situation, the odd game here or two, and our team is not
geared for it.
Yeah, we're not made for Richarlison. Richarlison's not. He can't cope with what Kane can do. So yeah, it's not. It's a tough. He's in a tough position, but yeah, I just think he's absolutely having a season to forget.
He also doesn't help himself, and I do think he's one of the most dislikable people.
He must be unbearable.
He's like the striker equivalent to that Lucho, the one from Southampton, having Brazilian, like I said.
He's a nut job, yeah. Yeah, no, I think I mean, he possibly could have looked at Lucas for loser week, but I almost feel sorry for him. But yeah, definitely. Richarlison takes the crown this week.
Right, let's go back to the beginning of the show. Leicester were last relegated from the Premier League in 2003-2004. Can you name 3 players in that squad?
Ian Walker.
Correct.
Oh, huge. Actually, he used to play for Spurs, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the clue I'm going to give you.
And
there's a Spurs theme in this squad.
That squad, that team, so they were in the Walker's kit, weren't they?
Yeah.
In the middle. Oh, Walker. That's the only one I knew off the bat. Leicester.
Spurs theme.
I don't know if that's going to help me or not. That's a long time ago, though.
No, it is.
Ian Walker. Oh. Was it Stephen Freund?
Correct.
Oh, that's a great shout. He got relegated with them. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's the picture I've got. The famous picture I'm in the newspaper of is
really?
when Arsenal win the league and Vieira takes the ball around Walker. It's me, my dad, Freund, and Vieira. It's like I'm in the middle of all them players.
That's unreal. Oh, after that, I'm struggling. Oh, Leicester. I can picture their kit 100%. It's the big Walkers in the middle and probably like a big collar. Oh.
Let's see who I think. There's 1, 2, 3. There's probably about 4 people.
Are they on there? Any of them?
No.
That's obviously the same. I think it's the same year, to be fair.
No, it is. I was just checking.
No, I'm struggling.
Ex-Spurs striker.
But who played for Leicester? Ex-Spurs striker. That's so long ago, isn't it? That's a long time ago. Was he Spurs after that?
No, he was Spurs.
Before?
He'd finished his career there.
Right.
He was on the way down, definitely.
Oh God. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wave the white flag, I think.
Les Ferdinand.
Give me some clues. I'll see if I can get something. But
what other players?
Yeah, go on. I might.
Frank Sinclair. Muzzy is it?
Muzzy is it? Yeah.
Keith Gillespie.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Dickoff.
Yeah. Oh no, names I know, but I'd never get him today.
Marcus Bent. Ben Thatcher, did he play you?
I think so, yeah, he was the one at City when he
Yeah,
killed Mendes.
but did he play for you before that?
I think I didn't know that. Even when he did that against Mendes, I didn't even know he played for Tottenham.
Yeah, Dabby's ass at Newcastle. Craig Hignett, I always remember that name because he scored against Arsenal in that year. But yeah, that was. I thought you could maybe get 2 of the 3. That's why I said 3 because there were some Spurs players.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have got the others, but no, good question.
But it's weird how that bottom 4 from that year, bottom 5 from that year is so like
quite similar to now.
Iconic. Obviously, you got Man City in 16th, but Everton won 9 games. They've won 6 this year. Yeah. Leicester won 6 that year and got relegated. Leeds won 8.
No, 7, I think. And you said Wolves, didn't you, as well?
All 3 of them teams had 33 points.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, Wolves finished rock bottom. Well, bottom. They all finished.
Southampton probably won't get to 30 points. Southampton this year.
They got 24 of them.
Yeah.
They're not going to win. I don't know. They might do. But
a good question. I like it.
Right, that brings a close to another episode. No, thank you again for listening and contributing to the show.
Yeah.
We've had a few new followers as well, so just shout out to you for listening on the Instagram.
The engagement, all the rest of it on the Instagram's been good, and we're like trying to post a bit more regularly and different stuff here and there. Like your mate, the PSV fan, obviously went to the cup final.
Yes, and I shout out for them for beating Ajax.
Mr. Andy with the
Andy Houghton, for the Ipswich stuff. That was fantastic. So next week we'll actually be back on Tuesday, because Jack's gone on holiday to Portugal.
Yeah.
Last time we met Fred over there. So
yeah, James beat as well. So if
James beat and Fred.
Any professionals playing golf this weekend, I might come over to you.
So yeah, we won't back on a normal Monday, but I'm sure we'll have plenty to speak about over the midweek games we've got coming up. I'll get some content tomorrow at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And like I said, another bank holiday weekend, so there's plenty of football going on.
Yes.
Right.
Good.
So I think that's everything we've got to say.
Good. Very good.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Cheers. Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.